female.
Hello Fart Nation, my name is Keej TV, and today we're doing a special review of a seemingly innocuous figure. I thought I'd do a special little gimmick this time. This is Legacy Chromia. She came out like a couple of months ago. I think she looks pretty cool. I saw this figure actually a little bit early. Before it was revealed, I got shown. I was one of the select few that was in the little special fan wank club that gets shown this. When people stole it from the factory and tried to make a profit off it. So my pal sent me it. I won't say who because the FBI will shoot him in the back of the head. But I wanted to see this one early because I don't really go out my way often to see figures early. I saw a few of them early, before like the wider public saw them leaked or like they were revealed officially. That was cool, I guess, but it's not really something I look out terribly for. But I went out of my way to look for Chromia here because the idea of her being remade from the animated Pro mode was very interesting to me. I thought it'd be looking kind of cool, and I thought it would have this kind of special energy to it, and I think it does. I think this toy here being Cyberverse. Are we really gonna call it Cyberverse? Can you even remember off the top of your head what Cyberverse Chromia looks like? I know I've caught a bit of flack from talking shit about Cyberverse. It's just, a 21-year-old man, Cyberverse, I feel like I would have liked it if I was maybe born like a decade later, but I feel like this is like them wanting to do a Chromia, and them wanting to maybe get the most out of the Pro mode, and they've just said this is Cyberverse Chromia. To me, this is like a kind of Generations Universe style Chromia where she's not supposed to be any specific iteration of the character, and that's really cool to me. This isn't like, trying to appeal to some like old cartoon, even if again they slap it in the box. This is just like a cool Chromia toy that happens to be a motorbike, and I fuck with that. But yeah, sorry, the gimmick of this video, before I get sidetracked there, I'm filming this in May. I got this toy in May. I waited a wee bit because I don't want to pay full price for it. I got this for like 17 quid instead of 25 off eBay from someone down in Clydebank. That was swag. I'm a fan of that. But yeah, by the time you see this, a lot of time's going to be passing since May 2024. I don't know if it will still be 2024. Hell, I could even release this in 2025. Because, of course, the rules are for Manchild reviews are that it must, first and foremost, be retired, and I need to have something interesting to say about it. The interesting part you can debate, but this isn't retired yet. This is still on shelves. This is still a modern release. I just waited a little minute to buy it is all. So, I think what the gimmick is, you can kind of see what I'm saying at the time, instead of maybe me talking about a toy years after its release. I want to get these kind of initial first thoughts when it's fresh out. And I think it'd be kind of, I don't know, a cool time capsule thing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's been sitting there for a minute. I really want to get her open. I want to mess around with Chromia because she's cool, right? It's just blue Autobot who has guns. She's made out of chrome or something. I don't know. 40 years of Transformers and I still have nothing interesting to say. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know they were wrapping up the accessories in like little special tissues now. That's a nice wee touch, isn't it? Fuck, it's been a while since I've actually messed with a Legacy toy. I've been buying them all second-hand just because second-hand just because I really don't like the prices they are now. It's like actually pricing me out. It's just exorbitant. This is the first Transformers Legacy United. Christ, what a mouthful. That's the first one I've bought that isn't like second-hand and for a cheaper price. Just because I think it's a mix of production costs, just the way plastic and shit is, eco-friendly. I think they're kind of raising the prices a bit to combat things like that. And at the same time, it's just Hasbro wanting to get as much money out of the kind of audience they've captivated by, maybe making a bit of an extra profit while these production costs and shit are going up. They're basically kind of exploiting the fact that you really want to collect these characters. And I do wonder, right, if these prices keep going up. Well, that's actually a really nice quality plastic feel. Fuck, never mind about production costs. This feels really nice. She looks cool as well. Yeah, it was just something I kind of thought of before I started filming this review. I do wonder, if just money and the way the future and the way the world's going right now, I do wonder if eventually there will just be a future, maybe 50, 60, 100 years in the future, I don't know, where Transformers just plastic shit in general isn't sustainable, and it kind of just goes the way of the dodo, which, I don't know, I feel like there's always going to be a market for selling a toy, whether it's, you know, to babies or man children, fair enough, but like, I wonder if something significant in the future will happen, where the point where we don't get, like, you know, tributes to Chromia anymore. We just don't get that kind of stuff anymore, and like plastics maybe more expensive and reserved for other things. But yeah, there's her iconic shurikens, which she used all the time in Cyberverse. I remember that, of course. But for real though, I hope she doesn't like kind of fuck into the blue background. She's that kind of nice darker shade of blue, which is interesting because if I pull out the Chromia I had before this Chromia, Generations Chromia, this was like Thrilling 30 or something. She's a nice kind of like not baby blue, just a very kind of saturated basic blue. And I think it's really cool how this Chromia, obviously based on the Cyberverse color scheme, she's a kind of nice, like muted, kind of almost like vaguely purple blue, and I think that's very cool. That's whoops, sorry, let me just clear the body out there. But yeah, I like this. I like this. I don't like. I'm not here for Cyberverse Chromia, as I've said like a million times. But I think the color choice, the kind of baby blues contrasting is kind of dark, like almost purple blues. That's another thing, by the way. I can't tell if I'm fucking colorblind, but a lot of the time, I will see people saying that certain shades of blue are purple, and certain shades of blue are like red or like kind of purple. I don't know if that's just me, but like, if you guys ever noticed that? Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a tangent. Let's actually talk about this toy here. Yeah, I think just as a Chromia, this is like a go-to. It's not as awkward as the pretty ambitious Throwing 31 was. I think that one was pretty cool. It's this kind of like advanced sci-fi like motorbike kind of thing. That's very nice. I just feel like I don't know, maybe for the time it was a bit too ambitious and the engineering's a bit kind of weird. She feels kind of like strange to hold. She's not as expressive as this kind of mold is. You know, you can like have her, I think you can have her balancing in one leg, can't you? Let me try and get that. Yeah, yeah, like you can do shit like that with if it'll focus, God. With this new Chromia, obviously she's kind of like riding off pro success there. You may be asking, by the way, Cage, if you love Transformers animated so much and you kiss it goodnight every night, then why don't you have Legacy Pro? And that's because I paid full price for him. Realized that I don't like the Legacy animated toys, and wallowed in my own misery for a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that mold, well, it's a good attempt. It just doesn't embody such a sleek, kind of cartoony, like kind of expressive character as Pro. I feel like it much better fits a character like Chromia here, who generally is accepted as a kind of weird little motorbike character, uh, with with a kind of a lot more. I don't know what you'd call it. A lot more kind of generous approach to the way she's been designed over the years. You can do a lot of Chromia. She doesn't have a kind of definitive look that people will kind of be weirded out if it looks different, if you know what I'm saying. I think she's very applicable, even if she does have pro fucking shurikens in her leg, which I want to test out, by the way. How does she look with those? I feel like, you know what, Chromia could be a you know, like she could be a ninja. Yeah, she could be a ninja. She's that applicable. Give her like fucking shurikens of ice from Ninjago, or like a big staff or a sword or whatever. She could rock it, I'm sure. And I suppose there is a drawback to that, where like if Chromia is so applicable, then what is definitive about her character? She likes Ironhide, maybe more than a friend. She's the kind of tough one. Um, you know, if I knew anything about Cyberverse Chromia, I'd probably say something there, but my ignorance, you know, I'm playing it off as cool, as people often do on the internet. Yeah, I think I definitely enjoy this toy much more than Animated Pro. Like, obviously, I would like an animated Chromia. I think that would look maybe cool. But you know, I'm loving it in the moment. I'm loving it in the now instead of always talking shit about the past. I think that's a nice change of pace for this show, and yeah, I think that this is like a good definitive Chromia going forward. She's actually an Earth motorcycle now, so she's no longer relegated to Cybertron to dick about with Shockwave and like 5 other people. You know, she can go on adventures with like Ironhide, RC, whoever else you want to pair up with. Hell, maybe even want to make her a wrecker in your little toy shelf universe or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And even if she's an Earth motorcycle, honestly, I think notoriously, apart from like Backfire, who we reviewed a little bit ago, I am really not a fan of motorcycle like Transformers. They're just so fiddly and annoying. Like I like it when, like, you know, just looking at the shelf here. I don't know, fucking Combiner Wars Pterosaur. Bit of a flex, I know, I love him very much. He's just a jet guy. And you can see that a lot of Combiner Wars toys are very basic, but like you flip down the wings, he folds up, he's a jet, there you go, that's cool. Even something more complicated, let me just scan the room here. Yeah, even a slightly more complicated character like Axel Grease, another kind of highlight from Legacy, I think, just because she's this cool new character. She's like an evil junkie on like maybe aligned with the Decepticons. She's got a little bit of parts forming going on, but she can still transform without it. I think she's a bit more complicated, but she's still pretty cool. Like the way the wheels, the actual kind of tires will move, but the middle part, I don't know, the hubcaps or whatever, they don't. So you can like have shit sticking on everything. The engine block and everything. I think she's cool as well. But for a motorcycle bot, I remember at the time I didn't really like Legacy Pro's transformation. Maybe it's just because I was pissed off that I paid like 25 quid for a toy that is like smaller than my hand. Yeah. So I figure I'll give it another try. Tell you what I think of the transformation, right? Okay, right. I think I've done that right. I really don't like bike formers. She's kind of falling apart in my hands here. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily like the transformation there. The bike looks kind of ropey. It's cool. Yeah, it's nice, but like, yeah. Yeah, I think I much prefer the kind of the weight and feel of the fuck's sake. Stick together, you little shit. The weight and feel of yeah, fuck's sake. Yeah, I think I much prefer the weight and feel of the actual motorbike mode. This fucking thing here kind of falls apart. Rolls well. Looks cool, I guess. It's got again a nice kind of colors going on. It's got that nice kind of streak there, but then you get to this bit here, and that looks kind of just fucking weird. Again, I feel like animated did this a lot better, like 15 or so years ago. This I think it's just unfortunate because bike formers are cursed to be total dog shit unless they're like one of the 5 that actually look nice. Props to trying though. It's just that happens. But for a pretty clever reuse of Legacy Pro for a character I think fits the style of that kind of toy line's aesthetic much more. I really like this toy. I appreciate the kind of nice like look it has, the color scheme, the little details. I think this is a very cool Chromia. I think this one benefits from not being as kind of rare exclusive as like maybe a BotCon one or the kind of Throwing 31 where it's like specifically IDW. I think this is very cool as like just a very basic like normal Chromia. And I think that's cool because I feel like with these kind of like girl transformers, people kind of put them up on a pedestal as these like kind of exemptions to the norm who are very like special and they're like cool and rare, but like Chromia's just one of the Autobots. She's just one of the gang who like scanned a motorbike and is like trying to kick Decepticon arse. That's her kind of like thing. She's very applicable just because she's like an action hero who wants to beat the shit out of the bad guys. And I think seeing that and maybe kind of represented as a toy is very cool to me. She's one of the gang. She's not like RC where she's like she's the girl one, or it's not like Victorion where like it's like, oh, it's the first girl combiner or whatever. It's just an Autobot who is a motorbike, even if the motorbike is kind of stinky. And I'm not going to pay 25 quid for her. I think, again, if you can get her for a deal, if you just wait instead of buying day one and filling up Hasbro's pockets with, money they necessarily haven't 100% earned from you, let's be honest. Yeah, I think she's pretty cool. However, since this has been filmed in the past, right? Well, it's a present for me now, sorry. It'll be the future when I release it, but fuck, hold on. When this video releases, it will be the present for you of a past experience, which is the future for me. And if I still, and if my opinion has changed, I think that'd be very funny and interesting to look back on, because I'll probably leave a comment down below of me saying like, yeah, it's shit now, or I sold her, or I love her so much and I'm never selling her. Something like that. That's interesting. And maybe if this one's a success, I could do one again. Production time would probably take a while because it's kind of hard to like time travel and make stuff like this. But yeah, I'm enjoying my little Legacy Chromia. Hopefully in the future I will be too. Otherwise, That'll raise a few questions about me. Yeah. See you.